Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art Sciences and Well-being. Before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's sessions. So before that, starting our session, an important announcement to all of you that all the certificates have been updated on the website till yesterday. You can download all the certificates. There are no pending certificates as far as for which formalities have been completed. If there are any such, there are certain formalities either to be completed by the speakers or participants, so that we will look into it. Most of them are issued except 1 or 2 events. So you can download all the certificates for the entire September month, October month, and all. Till yesterday, all the certificates have been updated. So do continue to keep attending and earning more certificates. And beyond certificate, it is also the greatest knowledge that we all acquire. So with this, we shall continue to today's session. And also, Those who do not want certificate, many of them do not apply for certificates. So opt for certificates. They can also alternatively watch on YouTube. They are streaming live on YouTube, and later on also you can visit the live streaming, which is saved on YouTube. But the final editing copy will be available at the later on for individual sessions, each session, and also a complete webinar or conference. That will take some time. Till then, you can continue to enjoy as it is recorded on the website. For those who require certificate or those who require interaction or those who have any queries or where you want to ask and get clarified, so Zoom continues to be there. So you can join live and interact after the session. Otherwise, you can anytime you can visit YouTube and watch the sessions there. But for that, there is no certificate issue as there is no attendance being tracked there. And kindly register every day. It is mandatory, and attend, provide feedback, and you can download your certificates from website. So make sure every day before joining itself, you register for the webinar, and also do not forget to give feedback every day. And there is one more opportunity for every one of you. Whoever is joining regularly, you can get a free premium membership where there are minimum formalities. So you can keep joining regularly by following all the instructions and gaining insights, as well as you can also, for a good and loyal conduct, we are giving up free premium memberships for those who are regular, those who are following instructions, and those who are attending fully, to encourage them, to motivate them, and also to appreciate them. So that will have fewer, formalities. For there is a major difference for members and non-members. Non-members are those, who attend, who register and attend daily. So they are being now treated as non-members or guests or visitors. And members, we have basically two categories. It is free member and premium member. So premium member is where people want certificates and want to attend less formalities, but without attending they will be not getting certificate, but a little bit privileges they will be getting after, so that they can watch later or at their convenience. So that is one privilege, and they have fewer formalities. So that is a benefit of premium membership. As of now, there is no charge for premium membership. To motivate and encourage and appreciate, we are providing a free premium membership. So, but for that, you need to regularly attend, actively participate, and show a very good proactive behavior and communication, so that you get rewarded for all the good behaviors and loyalty. So that is one we have started. So, and you also need to share, these daily whatever updates we are getting. And we have modified also registration form, so that all the information which is required, basically, because we observe that many of us are not going to multiple places to gather information. So we consolidated from today onwards. We have a new registration form with updated form. So where you get all the details within the registration form only. No need to visit any website. All the links, even to certificate instructions, all links to the website has also been updated in the registration form itself. So everything, though it has become lengthy, so that we have added some content, but it will help everyone, whoever is joining, whoever is registering, all the details are there, and it's a consolidated form for everyone, whoever would like to present, collaborate, and everything. So only additional requirements, certain additional requirements are there, which they need to comply if they are opting for presentations or collaborations. Other than that, presentation and collaboration, participation will be free, and registration would be mandatory. And from 1st October, it is going to be implemented strictly. So all the speakers must go through the formalities, because it is taking lot of consuming lot of time and efforts from our side to every time pull out details, gather. So it will also save all our time, so that we can also issue certificates more fastly and also organize more programs. So we have strictly we are going to implement from October 1st. So all the October 1st or mostly October 3rd, maybe. So from 1st till now we were issuing, though you also know many times, those who got certificates, you didn't attend fully. But even though you got certificates, that we took an average of all the participants, not which we had as 65% rule. If that rule was applied, then even that many certificates could have even not been issued. But what we did is, based on the overall participants' time, we took average, so that those people who didn't even attend 50% also got certificates. Only just because we were very considerate, and we thought we will take the average on it. But we'll also giving away with that, and is going to be very strictly followed from October 1st. We are not worried about number of participants. We are always giving top priority to quality and standards and operating procedures. We will continue to do so. So it's very simple. You register and daily, because daily you will be getting certificate, and join in time. And if most of them who are joining regularly, if you think we can start session little bit late or little bit early, just let us know, so that most of the time we see daily we have a few regular participants joining around 6:30. Initially also we thought to move on to 6:30. Anyway, it is happening like that only because we have this inaugural and presentation that is taking 15 to 20 minutes. So an introduction to speaker, and anyway it is coming to around 6:30, and it is, even if it goes up to 1 or 1.5 hours of our session, we are reaching 8 o'clock. So in that way, so in some time, we are starting exactly at 6, because whenever I am taking sessions, I am ensuring that I am starting early, or when there are 2 sessions. So we are doing that. So let me know through feedback. Most of the convenient time, we can start accordingly. We can plan. If we have only one session, then accordingly we can start, so that you also will get an opportunity to attend fully. So You have my contact numbers. You can share your feedback or through feedback form. And we have observed that in feedback form also, you are not completely filling the details. So that kindly see, for now we can issue, but tomorrow you will only face problem. That's why we are telling. In other platforms, they don't tell, they just issue, and later on, it is left to the fate of this attendees. But we don't want that pain to be given to everyone. So complete your formalities. Otherwise, this verification data, if you don't enter by yourself, that will not be entering. No one else will be entering. Again, at the time of verification, the data will be not found, and verification will fail. So instead of regretting at a later date, and you will also not able to remember also all these details, and it is very difficult even for us and you also, and we will require more documentation, more compliance. So instead of regretting later, if we spend 1 or 2 minutes extra, we will be complying with all these things. Actually, we have this ISO also. Actually, we have to follow all very strictly, but this we have exempted entire. Otherwise, you all would have got ISO standard certificate logos, but because many are not following, we have exempted entire this webinar series from that. So the better we all follow, the more valuable certificate we'll be getting. So if we continue to, because it is a very great pain and headache for us to manually do all these things for everyone, each and everyone, those who are not following. So we have entirely exempted it. Maybe we are trying from October 1st. So we will see 1 month. You also try to comply, and for next 1 month, we'll be strictly following and seeing how best we can issue from November ISO standard certificates. If it is working out in everyone cooperates, then we'll be able to issue. If everyone is not, many are not providing feedback, again asking for certificates, these all will lead to compliance issues. Again, at the time of auditing, it will create problem. So all this keep in mind, and let's continue. If you want better services, more quality, then we have to sacrifice little bit time. That is only one request. Anyway, that's up to you, all, everyone, whoever is attending. If you all cooperate, we'll have better, more quality and more valuable certificates sessions. We continue like this only, we'll have similar kind of things. So it all depends on you. And yeah, we will. So all certificates till yesterday have been updated on the website. So you can download all the certificates till September. Only August 15th is pending. We have sent repeated requests, but formalities are yet to be completed by many. And we'll see by after the holidays, we will conclude, close whoever it is, whoever has completed, we will issue them, and for others, we'll be not issuing any certificate. So we'll close it permanently. So we'll give time, some more time till festival. After that, we'll even clear that. Only just that one event is pending. All others have been cleared. You can know pending certificates, so you can download them. But make sure you register every day. You attend sessions fully. You provide feedback, and you can download your certificates, because soon the timing will also be mentioned on these ISO certificates, how much time you have attended, total time, and how much time you have attended. Again, when you present or somewhere, it will look awkward. So all these things are there. So ensure that even we have thought of putting time also for everyone, and even in these certificates also, but again, that will not have value. when you don't attend fully or at least 50% of that, then that certificate value doesn't hold good, even if you issue certificate. So these are very practical problems. No? So to ensure all these compliances, make sure you join in time, and let's all follow the instructions. So we will move on to today's commemorations. So today we are commemorating International Day of Awareness of Food and Food Loss and Waste, in short known as IDA-FLW 2022, with the theme Stop Food Loss and Waste for the People, for the Planet. And today we are also commemorating World Heart Day with the theme Use Heart for Humanity, for Nature, and for You. And we are also commemorating World Maritime Day, New Technologies for Greener Shipping. And apart from that, we have other commemorations like World National Biscuitery Day, and National Coffee Day, National Silent Movie Day, and National Police Remembrance Day, and many others. We will not be looking. I just handpicked few, and we'll be going through it. So first, look at International Day of Awareness on Food Loss and Waste Reduction. So with the theme Stop Food Loss and Waste for the People, for the Planet. So reducing food loss and waste is essential in the world where the number of people affected by hunger has been slowly on the rise since 2014. And tons of edible food are lost and are wasted every day. Globally, around 14% of the food produced is lost between harvest and retail, while an estimated 17% of the total global food production is wasted, 11% in households, 5% in food service, and 2% in retail. The International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste is an opportunity to call to action both the public, national or local authorities, and the private sector, business and individuals to prioritize actions and move ahead with innovation to reduce food loss and waste towards restoring and building back better and resilient ready food systems. So FAO organization, the leading agency for this International Day, and discover what you can do and take action, start something, stop food loss and waste for the people and for the planet. So why it is important to reduce food loss and waste? Food loss and waste undermine the sustainability of our food systems. When food is lost or wasted, all the resources that were used to produce the food, including water, land, energy, labor, and capital, go to waste. In addition, the disposal of food loss and waste in landfills leads to greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to climate change. Food loss and waste can also negatively impact food security and food availability and contribute to the increasing cost of food. So our food systems cannot be resilient if they are not sustainable. Hence, the need to focus on adoption of the integrated approaches designed to reduce food loss and waste. Actions are required globally and locally to maximize the use of the food we produce. The introduction of technologies, innovative solutions, including e-commerce platforms for marketing, retractable mobile food processing systems, new ways of working and good practices to manage food quality and reduce food loss and waste are key to implementing this transformative change. With 8 years left to reach targets 1, 2, 3 of Sustainable Development Goal 12 SDG, there is an urgent need to accelerate action to reduce food loss and waste. So we can reduce food waste through various measures. First is reducing the usage and taking consciously and preparing or consuming the food which is required. So let's look at some tips where and how we can reduce food wastage and becoming a zero hunger hero. We all have a part to play in saving food, so not wasting for a zero hunger world. So food waste has become a dangerous habit, buying more than what we need at supermarkets, letting fruits and vegetables spoil at home, or ordering more than what we eat at restaurants, all leads to lots of food wastage. And each year, about one third of the food we produce globally is lost or wasted. See, I mean, how many people are dying with the malnutrition, and we see hunger deaths every 40 seconds, and we are wasting one third of the food. That is almost 33% of the food what we are producing is just lost or wasted. And in developing countries, a large part of this food, 40%, is lost at the harvest or processing stage. This is called food loss. In developing countries, uh, that is in developing countries where 40% of lost is at a processing stage or harvest stage. And in developed countries, the same percentage, 40%, is lost at the consumer or retail stage, throwing away food that is not bought at stores or food that is not eaten at home, restaurants and cafeterias. This is also called as food waste. So food loss, food waste, there is a difference, and there is lot of room for improvement worldwide in relation to food loss and waste. So we have we have formed habits that hurt our world and put extra strain on our natural resources. We waste food, we waste the labor, we waste the money and precious resources like seeds, water, feed, etc., that goes into making food, not to mention the resources that go into transporting it. In short, wasting food increases greenhouse gas emissions and contribute to the climate change. But habits can change. It's very easy, no, to be conscious and change our habits. And some easy things we can do to be a zero hunger hero and make not wasting away of life. So start small, take smaller portions at home or share large dishes at restaurants. When going for a smaller quantity. Again, if you want, we can order for one more dish. If it is not adequate, instead of, buying a plate or a complete dish for everyone, we can order a dish and share among ourselves. And then if again we required more quantity or a different dish, we can order again, so that we can reduce less wastage, and leaving nothing behind, and keep your leftovers for another meal or use them in a different dish. So always, even at a restaurants also, now we just leave it leftover food there only. Nowadays mostly we are not using hands, so it is safe also. It is not touched, or so it is always safe. You can carry the leftover food and you can ask the hotels. Nowadays, they are also very conscious about food wastage. So you can ask them. There is nothing wrong. Instead of wasting, throwing it in dustbin, you can get it packed, or you can carry something, some reusable, some covers or packaging material, where you can use the packaging material if they don't know, if they don't have, or if that costs you additional for packaging. So you can use reusable packaging material, and you can pack it, and either you can distribute among the poor or those who are in need of food, or you can bring back and take it at a later time. Often we see, we take in, especially when we are at restaurants or other places, we don't consume to full stomach, or often we, always we have this social, consciousness, and we don't eat that much quantity, or that much at ease when we are in public. So often we take less, and again, when we come back, or after some time, we feel hungry. Again, we start eating something else. So instead of that, what you can do, you can just, whatever you are ordering, make sure that you are ordering in small quantities, and one after the other, you can order and go for more quantities. And also, whatever is left out, you know, whatever may be the quantity, you can pack all together, or you can carry something where you can uh, take that leftovers, so that you can distribute among one who are looking for the food, or you can bring back to your homes or workplace, and you can consume it, or you can share it. If you think before only that, before serving or before start eating only, if you think that this will be too much for you, you can ask before starting your meal, or you can just ask them, or you can shift extra bowls or plates, where you can just take out some and keep it aside, so that afterwards you can pack it, or ask them to pack it, so that if you have that, if you have some feeling like you are giving the leftovers to them, or before making it a leftover, you can divide that, and as a share to them, you can distribute. That is also one kind of cognitive thought process, where we can change, and instead of having any guilt feeling, or any other feeling, negative feeling, or any guilt or any shame feeling, we can do this. We can initially, only before starting, if we think that it is going to be too much or excess, we can take out one portion and keep it for them. So that will also uh, prevent a kind of shame or guilt feeling of giving leftovers. That is one option. So, and other option is leaving nothing behind, and make sure you order less quantity, and also make sure you don't leave any food. Often we see, we don't eat, we leave a lot of food grains and other things on the plate only. We just so make sure the plate is as clean as it is served to you before food. That means every grain, you make sure every grain is consumed. It's not that you are, what do we call? It's not that you are very greedy or no, I'm not able to get that word. Uh, it's not that. Okay, so it's not that we are so greedy or whatever it may be, but we are being conscious. So whatever is there, little 2 3 spoons might be left out. So even that is also a wastage. So you can consume it completely. Don't think about what other people will think or that. So you make sure, because that will also help us in reducing solid waste or kitchen waste from that. Otherwise, that will also again have to go into waste. And that is also managing solid waste or kitchen waste is also one more additional problem. Instead, you can consume it, whatever is there, even left out, whatever it may be, half spoon and completely. So that make it, that half spoon or 1 spoon will not make much difference. But uh, leaving them is again, it's going to be waste. Instead, you can have that extra 1 spoon or 2 3 spoons. That doesn't matter much. And but only what you need. And also be smart with your shopping. Make a list of what you need and stick to it. Don't buy more than you can use. Often we know, whenever there is on offers, provided, generally these offers are, which are nearing to expiry date, na? Or where there is a huge overproduction happens, and where there is no such movement. Generally, people give, this is a marketing strategy where they have huge production and need to be sold off very quickly, because it is blocking their investment and capital. And not only that, there is a risk of not getting sold at a later date, or a slow movement of products or services. So in that way, what they will do, they will put lot of offers on that. Even jumbo packs are nowadays, unless and until you have a family, very big family, or you have a community where you want to share them. Don't go for large packs. That is only useful. Often we think, okay, we can consume for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But with a variety of foods that you consume, always we see that some of the portions of the food, packaged food, also gets expired, and we just have to throw them away. Instead of that, go for small quantity. Don't get you know carried away by these discounts. Say if you buy large quantity, you get 20-30% off. But at the end of, if we are not able to consume that, even if that 30% or 40% of the products get wasted, so it's again the same. That discount also is getting wasted, because we are not consuming and we are paying for that. So in that way, be conscious. Or whenever you get in a large quantity, you plan, like in your neighborhood, in your apartments, or in your communities. You can share the shopping list. And if you get a jumbo pack or a huge large pack, you can divide it among, so that no, it will be saving, cost saving also. And you can consume within the specified time, and you can, every month you can buy it. So if you are having nuclear families, especially, or single parent family, there is a lot of wastage, especially. So that also, only buy what you need. Don't get excited or don't get carried away by these discounts and fill up the trolley. I know with this IT world, and with this lot of real estate, the huge money is flowing to certain segments, and other peoples are struggling for day-to-day earnings. And they are the ones who spend lavishly, and without caring, wasting food and consumables. But remember, it's not so easy. You know how much farmer is struggling. Yesterday also we were discussing how much farmer has to struggle, and they are not even getting anything, but just for the matter that we are being paid lakhs and lakhs of rupees every month. So it doesn't mean that we waste resources, because it is not that easy to grow food in a month, or paddy takes minimum 45 days to 90 days, depending on the type of the and wheat, and all this take time and lot of resources, and we have to be very careful till the crop gets harvested and gets transported to the nearest market, or warehouse. So all these aspects are there. So start small, leave nothing behind, buy only what you need and the quantity only you need, and don't be prejudiced, by ugly or irregular shaped fruits and vegetables that are just as good but look a little different. We can see, we always in certain, especially in local markets, we see a little bit out of shape, or a little bit more ripen, or a little bit not so looking good, not that bright colors are also being sold, because sometimes it happens that not everything gets sold on the same day. So its quality remains same, but these are perishable. So over time, that color and texture that goes on, but it is as safe as consuming other thing. So whenever there is an opportunity, so instead of throwing them away, you know because again, if that is not consumed by another one day or two, then it is not even worth consuming. So, and those are even being offered for less price. So go for that, so that you can save money, and at the same time you can also prevent wastage. And check your fridge. Store food between 1 and 5 degrees Celsius for maximum freshness and shelf life. Often, this uh, temperature is also very important. Either we chill it too much, or because every food, certain foods have certain temperature requirements. So certain foods you can see even in fridge also, when we keep some food material, they get even spoiled in fridge also. Why that happens? Because the kind of environment they need. That's why we have different compartments, or partitions in the fridge, where we can uh, keep our different kind of food products. And we need to first learn how to store uh, food materials. That is very essential. Which foods can be stored at what temperatures? And some foods also, we generally, what we do generally, we keep everything in fridge only, whatever is left out, which doesn't need to be stored in fridge also. Sometimes, we just put everything, whatever is left out, or even sometimes, these jams also, honey also, sugar also. I have seen many people, they put everything into that only. That is not required basically. But they say it will be longer. Yeah, true. But you will not consume for months and months together, right? So instead of putting that, it is safe for even certain, because they are having some preservatives, and they are not homemade, or without preservatives, they are very fast. I mean, they are very uh, they are very quick and perishable. And with preservatives, they have shelf life. And according to the shelf life, if you are able to consume, because anyway, after shelf life, it gets expired. So while within its shelf life, if it is there, then which is not required at certain temperatures, where most of the food can be stored in normal temperatures, especially some quickly perishable goods, which needs to be really frozen so that the bacteria doesn't develop so fast. So wherever that is required, ensure that food is stored at proper temperatures. So that will help the food to remain fresh and also uh, for longer time. It is safe to use. And first in, first out. Try using produce that has bought previously, and when you stack up in your fridge or cupboards, or move older products to the front and place newer ones in the back. Often you can see, in supermarkets also, or shopping malls, where you can see, because that is the best way to prevent expiry. Often, so we call FIFO, first in, first out. So whenever you buy something, you check the dates, expiry date, ensure wherever you are buying, you ensure that it has the maximum uh, time available for the expiry date. Often, with some quick discounts or quick offers, they offer near to expiry date, or which is almost half of the period has expired, and to just ensure that they maximize the profits, so they put some offers or discounts. So be cautious while ordering also online. Earlier also, they were not giving this manufacturing date and expiry date. So there were a lot of legal awareness, and also returns that happens, and often there is this policy also for consumables and certain perishable items, where you cannot return the products. So make sure, uh, nowadays people are, some sites are giving this expiry date, manufacturing date also. So keep asking customer care, or keep writing to them to mention it, so that while ordering you can ensure that you have very good amount of time left, so that even if you don't consume within the time, you have very good time. And we need to understand that that time expiry date doesn't always apply in every stage. What does that mean? That mean that once it is opened, the bacteria, the outside microorganisms or bacteria or virus, not every bacteria or virus is harmful to us. Even we consume lot of bacteria or viruses which are in air, but we are not getting we are not getting ill every day, every moment. Because we have immunity developed, and our immunity is working 24 by 7 by 365 days. So it is a non-stop, that is, even though certain bacteria is good and certain bacteria is bad, it contributes, it serves its own purpose. So make sure that you, whatever you are looking or ordering, you ensure that you check the dates, understand the dates, use by or best before, or expiry date, manufacturing date, or there will be always mentioned best use by or best before, or expiry date. Generally, they don't give expiry date. They say before 6 months, or from expiry date, or before 15 days, or use by 12 months, or in a similar way. So use by indicate a date by which food is safe to be eaten, while best before means the food quality is best prior to that date, but it is still safe for consumption after it. So there are difference also. Another date mark that you can find on food packages is by sell by date. So which is helpful for stock rotation by manufacturers and retailers. So try to understand difference between these dates. And sometimes we also see that date gets expired, and we can also safely consume. It's not that, immediately once it is expired today that you have to throw it. You can use for certain amount of time safely, but only the quality, not quality, but the texture may change and the taste may change little bit. So gradually it doesn't, in a one day, it doesn't, harm you. Only gradually it starts, declining or deteriorate. So you can use for quite some more time, and make sure when you are transferring, because we don't have, sometimes we don't even carry those labels, original packing, where we have these manufacturing dates or expiry dates. We transfer to some other container and we forget the dates. So especially when you are transferring to other containers or storage containers at home or office, you make sure you label on that. You put a label on the container and make sure you mark the expiry dates. So that is also very much required, and follow the instructions on storage. And once it is opened, the product is opened or the package is opened, and generally that expiry differs from the when it is in the intact condition. So generally, once you open the package, then that life is different. So generally, the certain products they mention, once you open, consume within 1 month of opening this, lid or package. Because once you open it, the outer, it interacts with the climate and environment, and so bacteria also goes in and it starts its process decomposing or interacting with it. So it doesn't mean that again you open it and consume partly and keep it and think that, oh, okay, it will be there for another 1 year or so. Now, once it is opened again, the kind of environment changes, internal and external environment. So make sure that you are consuming it. And that's why it is very important to buy in small quantities. So instead of buying 1 kg and opening it, and again, we risk of getting contaminated, or sometimes pests also goes, it can, like ants or anything, it can go, and it can also, air can enter, though we have airtight containers or clips where we secure or we transfer it to airtight containers also. Certain times, while opening, closing, the air enters, the moisture enters. So that will cause. So having these small quantities, we can use it, and we can not that too small, because that will again cause a lot of wastage and packaging, but considerately small or medium quantity where we can use them safely. So understand these different aspects of food so that the food loss or wastage can be prevented. And compost, some food waste might be unavoidable. So why not set up a compost bin where, uh, you can, whatever is wasted, you can put in a compost bin, and you can use that as a fertilizer, organic fertilizer for your garden, kitchen garden, or terrace garden, or balcony garden, whatever it is. And sharing is caring. So whatever is surplus, try to donate them or distribute them. If you are not going to consume, many people have habit of not consuming the leftovers. In the night, they just throw out in the dustbin, or, instead, eat early. Early eating will not only keep us healthy, but also it will help, because if we eat too late, then everyone would have eaten by that time. And any leftovers or any excess of any surplus of food, we cannot even give that. By that time, even if we ask our friends in the locality or neighbors also, by that time they will also could have consumed it, like dinner or lunch, breakfast, whatever it is. So eating in time early, if there is any surplus or excess where we are not going to use it again, we can offer to some others, who are yet to have their breakfast or lunch or dinner, so that they can use it, and it will also help us to have positive relationships and a bond with them. So these are just a few tips, and we can have more such tips. Uh, and we all are very best at having. We can. I think you all also can share a lot of tips. So this is how it is very important. Stopping food loss and food wastage, not only for us, for the people and for the planet. As already mentioned, globally around 14% of the food produced is lost between harvest and retail, and 40% of is lost in the process and in the packaging or in the transport, and other 40% at the retails or the restaurants where unused food, excessively ordered food that is being wasted. So an estimated of 70% of global food production is wasted. Again, 11% in households, 5% in food service, and 2% in retail. So food that is lost and wasted accounts for 38% of total energy used in global food system. So there are certain courses online also. You can visit them, and can learn more about food processing, storage, consumption pattern, where you can equip yourself with awareness and knowledge. And this is the third time the International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Wastage will be observed, and I have been observing for the third time on 29 September 2022, and it will make a clear call to action for public and private entities from across the food system and also consumers to work together to cut food loss and wastage, to mitigate climate change and support food security and nutrition. So stop food waste for people and for the planet. The food supply chain in many countries is on course to overtake farming and land use as the largest contributor to greenhouse gases. Food processing and packaging, together with transport and food waste, are pushing the food supply chain to top of the list of greenhouse gases emitters globally. So greenhouse gases are generated at every step of food supply system, regardless of whether the food produced is consumed or not. In particular, food wastage rotting in landfills generates methane, a potent greenhouse gas that has 84 times the warming power of carbon dioxide over a 20-year period. And we see especially these tomatoes, and where they are left over on the roads and in the field itself, where there is no substance, very good selling price, or where the transportation charges is more, not even, instead of again putting labor and, packing them and transporting them and selling them, at times it creates more losses than leaving them in the fields itself. So at that time, it is not a complete loss of resources, seeds, water, everything, but also it produces a lot of methane gas emissions and greenhouse gases, which also, creates a lot of pollution in the environment and contributing to greenhouse gases emission. And this comes at a time when 811 million people go hungry. We also discussed recently, how many people are dying daily because of hunger, and 811 million people go hungry every day. And this food loss and waste accounts for 8 to 10% of global greenhouse uh, gases, contributing to an unstable climate and extreme weather events such as droughts and flooding. So these changes negatively impact crop yields, reduce the nutritional quality of crops, cause supply chain disruptions, and threaten food security. All of this means there is an urgent need to accelerate action to reduce FLV, that is food loss and wastage. So the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, specifically SDG 12, target 12.3, calls for halving per capita global food wastage at all retail and consumer levels and reducing food losses along production and supply chains. With 8 years left to reach the target, the urgency for scaling up action to reduce food loss wastage cannot be overemphasized. Reducing food loss wastage prevents an opportunity for immediate climate benefits while improving the overall sustainability of our food systems, a necessary transformation to ensure better planetary and nutritional outcomes for current and future generations. So with this, we shall end the commemoration of this event, and then we will move on to next commemoration of World Heart Day. So use every heart for every heart. And World Heart Day, let's get involved by creating awareness, by taking challenges and giving challenges to everyone to promote and create awareness. And World Heart Day, 28, 29 September, that is today, is an opportunity for everyone to stop and consider how best to use hearts for humanity, for nature, and for you. Beating cardiovascular disease is something that matters to every beating heart. And get involved. We can involve in so many ways, accessing, online training programs, awareness programs, offline programs, attending them. And this World Heart Day, let's make a difference for the humanity, for the nature, for you, and attend any events like this, which are being commemorated, organized online. And on this World Heart Day 2022, we are asking the world and everyone, you and me, to use heart for every heart. World Heart Day is an opportunity for everyone to stop and consider how best to use the heart for humanity, for the nature, and for you. Beating cardiovascular disease, in short known as CVD, is something that matters to every beating heart. Use heart means to think differently, to make right decision, to act with courage, to help others, to engage with this important cause. The heart is the only organ you can hear and feel. It is the first and last sign of life. It is one of the few things with the potential to unite all of us people as people. For every heart include involves the use of effort and swings the focus from the actions themselves to the beneficiaries of the actions, allowing a wider application of the campaign while also making it more personal. We want World Heart messages to reach as many as individuals as possible to help achieve cardiovascular health for every heart. So three pillars are there where we can contribute, and three key beneficiaries using heart for humanity. Access to treatment and support for CVD varies widely across the world. Over 70% of CVD deaths occur in low to middle income countries, but access can be an issue anywhere. By getting involved in the global events such as World Heart Day, as well as local activities, we are empowered to spread awareness and help make a difference in the lives of all humankind. And use heart for nature. Air pollution is responsible for 25% of the all cardiovascular deaths and taking lives of 7 million people every year, whether they are more immediate actions like walking or cycling instead of traveling by car, or longer term effects such as supporting clean air regulation. Each of us can contribute to a healthier planet in our own way. And use heart for you. Psychological stress can double the risk of having a heart attack. Exercise, meditation, and getting enough quality sleep help to lower your stress levels. So, resisting the harmful coping mechanisms and bad habits induced by stress, we can maximize our individual heart health. And let's quickly look into various causes of cardiovascular disease. First, let's see what is cardiovascular disease. In short, known as CVD, is the world's number one killer, causing over 18.6 million deaths per year. This is a very powerful and silent killer. Especially young youth who are in between 20 and 40 are highly vulnerable. Even personally also, I lost my own brother recently because of this CVD. COVID didn't touch even our family, but in this COVID period, this CVD has shaken us and our family also. So at a very young age, we have seen not only just my brother, but I saw many uh, young people, especially in the age of in between 20 and 40, many young children and the youth lost their lives. When day before yesterday also, uh, one of the topmost directors of the in the state, his young son, who is just about 30s of age, uh, lost his life. He got a very good opportunity in abroad and he was about to leave, and due to sudden cardiac arrest, he also lost his son. So many, we are witnessing many such cases, in the young age where they are just starting their life. They are about to start their earnings and livelihood and getting into relationship, marriage institution, family institutions. We are losing precious lives, to this cardiovascular disease, which is the world's number one killer, causing over 18.6 million deaths per year. And CVD is a class of diseases that affect the heart or blood vessels, veins, and arteries. More people die from CVD worldwide than from any other cause. Over 18.6 million every year. Of these deaths, 85% are due to coronary heart diseases, that is, heart attacks, cardiac arrest, and cerebrovascular diseases like strokes, and mostly affect low and middle income countries. And did you know that your heart is the size of your fist and the strongest muscle in your body is the heart? And it started beating about 3 weeks after you were conceived. And if you live to be 70, it will have beaten 2.5 billion times. However, although impressive and strong, your heart can also become vulnerable from habitual risk factors. So these can be completely preventable because of this lifestyle, excessive consumption of meat, fats, salt. These all because of our lifestyle and pollution and various other factors, it is contributing, especially the high habitual risk factors which can be entirely prevented are smoking, diabetes, cholesterol, eating an unhealthy diet, or living with high blood pressure. So we always are consuming high cheese. Nowadays, there is nothing, no dishes prepared outside or at home without, this huge cheese. This is fats, excessive contents of fat and salt and oil that is creating a lot of problems and contributing to CVDs. And nowadays, everyone is smoking, drinking, and that is also adding to that. And the system can also be weakened from a pre-existing heart condition and other physiological and psychological factors, including hypertension or high blood cholesterol, or when your heart's function became compromised. This is known as cardiovascular disease, a broad term that covers any disorder to the system that has heart at its center. So, what are various symptoms and causes? Let's look at different kinds of types of cardiovascular disease. Heart disease, that is coronary heart disease, sometimes called as coronary artery disease or ischemic heart disease, is the most common type of heart disease. It refers to the heart problems caused by narrowed coronary arteries that supply blood to the heart muscle. For some example, the first sign of coronary heart disease is a heart attack. Heart attack is another type of cardiovascular disease. A heart attack or myocardial infarction occurs when something, usually a uh, blood clot, or cut offs the flow of blood to the heart. Without oxygen and nutrients, the heart muscle begins to die. A heart attack may be sorry. A heart attack may not be fatal, especially if you receive immediate medical attention and treatment, but it can still cause lasting damage to the heart. Stroke is also one of other kinds of CVD. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to the brain is interrupted, causing the brain to lose its vital supply of oxygen and nutrients. A stroke can either be caused by a blood clot in the brain artery or when a blood vessel in the brain bursts and bleeds, damaging the brain tissue. And other conditions include arrhythmia, irregular or abnormal heartbeat, aortic diseases, including aortic aneurysm, a disease that causes the aorta to widen or tear, cardiomyopathies, disease of heart muscle, congenital heart disease, problems with the heart or blood vessels that exist at birth, deep vein thrombosis, and pulmonary embolism, that is blood clots in the leg veins, which can break loose and travel to the heart and lungs, heart failure, when your heart isn't pumping as well as it should be, and heart valve disease, a disease of the heart valves that keep blood flowing through the heart, and pericardial disease, that is pericarditis, inflammation of the thin tissue sac that surrounds the heart, rheumatic heart disease, that is damage to the heart muscle and heart valves from rheumatic fever caused by streptococcal bacteria, vascular disease, blood vessel disease, any condition that affects your circulatory system, peripheral vascular disease, including peripheral arterial disease, a disease of blood vessels supplying the arms and legs, cerebrovascular disease, a disease of blood vessels supplying the brain, are different types of cardiovascular disease, and any disease can affect one or more persons. Often, what are the symptoms? Often there are no underlying symptoms of cardiovascular disease, and the first sign can be a heart attack or stroke. Symptoms of cardiovascular disease vary based on what condition you have and can include chest pain, chest tightness, chest pressure, and chest discomfort, pain, weakness, or numbness in your legs and arms, pain or discomfort in the arms, neck, shoulder, jaw, and back, shortness of breath, easily tiring during exercise or an activity, changes in your heart rhythm, very fast or slow heartbeat, palpitations or fluttering in your chest, dizziness, lightheadedness or fainting, weak or fatigue, swelling of the hands, legs, ankles, or feet, fever, skin rashes or unusual spots, dry or persistent cough, or could be the symptoms of cardiovascular disease based on the conditions. And the symptoms of the heart attack in men are intense chest pain, especially pain in the left arm or jaw, and difficulty in breathing. Women have some of the same symptoms, but their pain may be more diffuse, spreading to the shoulders, necks, arms, abdomen, and back. Women may experience pain more like indigestion, and pain may not be consistent. There may not be pain, but unexplained anxiety, nausea, dizziness, palpitations, and cold sweat. Heart attacks in women may be preceded by unexplained fatigue. Women also tend to have more severe first heart attacks that more frequently lead to death compared to men. So women have to be more cautious and careful. If you experience chest pain, shortness of breath, and or fainting, seek emergency medical care immediately. You should always call your country's emergency number if you think you may be having a heart attack. Cardiovascular disease, including heart disease, is easier to treat when detected early. If you are concerned about your heart health, talk to your doctor about the steps you can take to reduce your heart disease risk, especially if you have a family history of heart disease. And how this heart disease is diagnosed. Diagnosis of cardiovascular disease depends on your symptoms and what condition your doctor thinks you may have. A doctor will examine your medical and family history, your risk factors, and conduct a physical examination when necessary. They will combine their findings with results from tests and procedures. Cardiovascular diseases are diagnosed using a range of laboratory tests and imaging studies. Some of these common tests used to diagnose cardiovascular diseases include blood test, stress test, chest X-ray, electrocardiogram, that is ECG or EKG, echocardiogram, in short known as echo, computerized tomography, CT scan, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI scan, electron beam computed tomography, EBCT, or cardiac catheterization, and coronary angiography. These are various diagnoses that can be performed using a range of laboratory tests and imaging studies that is best decided by the health professional. And how do we prevent cardiovascular disease? There are many risk factors associated with heart disease and stroke. Some risk factors like family history cannot be modified, while other risk factors like high blood pressure can be modified through lifestyle interventions and treatment. Millions of people worldwide struggle to control the risk factors that led to cardiovascular disease, and many others remain unaware that they are at high risk. The most important behavioral risk factors of heart disease and stroke are unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, tobacco use, and harmful use of alcohol. These behaviors can lead to raised blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, overweight, and obesity, and which can in turn be measured in order to assess the individual's risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Addressing just one risk factor, such as exercising more, will help, but in order to significantly reduce your risk of CVD, it's important to look at your lifestyle as a whole. If you are already living with CVD, staying healthy and active can help you live longer and reduce the chances of getting worse. While individual choices play a part in these behaviors, governments and policymakers also play an important role in ensuring people have access to the tools they need to live healthy life, including clean air, affordable healthy food, and well-planned urban spaces that encourage an active lifestyle, healthy policies that create environments where healthy choices are not only available but also affordable, accessible, are essential for motivating people to adopt and sustain healthier lifestyles. So, what can you do, or what we all can do to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease? According to the World Health Organization, as many as 80% of all heart attacks and strokes are preventable. The majority of deaths due to CVD are precipitated by risk factors such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, or diabetes, which can to a large extent be prevented or controlled through the consumption of a healthy diet, regular exercise, and avoiding tobacco, alcohol, keeping an eye on your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and blood sugar levels is also very important. And eating a healthy and balanced diet. Eating a healthy, balanced diet is crucial to maintaining a healthy heart and circulatory system. A healthy diet should include a wide variety of unprocessed and fresh foods, including plenty of fruits and vegetables, at least 5 portions every day, whole grains, nuts, and foods low in saturated fats, sugars, and salt. Be wary of processed foods which often contain high levels of salt, and drink lots of water and exercise regularly. It only takes 30 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity 5 days a week to improve and maintain your health. Adults aged 18 to 65 and seniors 65 plus should aim to do at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity or at least 75 minutes of high intensity physical activity every week. Children and adolescents should do at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity every day. Try to make exercise a regular part of your life. Use the stairs instead of lift. Get off the bus a few stops earlier and walk the rest of the way. Being active is also a great way to relieve stress and control your weight, which are both risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Maintain a healthy body weight. Lowering your risk of overweight and obesity normally involves reducing the number of calories consumed from fats and sugars, increasing the portion of daily intake of fruit, vegetables, whole grass, and nuts, and exercising regularly. At least 60 minutes of exercise most days a week will help you maintain a healthy body weight. And avoid tobacco use and alcohol use. Avoid tobacco use. If you stop smoking, your risk of coronary heart disease will be halved within an year and you will return to a normal level over time. Avoid smoking filled environments like passive and active smoking, where exposure to secondhand smoke or passive smoke significantly increases the risk of heart attack. All forms of tobacco are harmful and there is no safe level of exposure for tobacco. If you are having trouble quitting tobacco, talk to your doctor or cessation specialist about developing a tailored plan to suit your needs. Avoid alcohol. As with tobacco, there are no safe level for drinking alcohol. And the detrimental effects of alcohol far outweigh and potential protective benefits. While drinking less may reduce your risk of CVD, evidence shows that the ideal situation for health is not to drink at all. Even moderate drinkers notice health benefits when they stop drinking alcohol. and manage stress. And this is also a social evil taboo that, it is widely prevalent that without even a single benefit, we are like fools and idiots, spoiling our own health, drinking alcohol. And that too, we are spending hard earned money, our money, which can go in a better, usage. We are spending time and resources and money on drinking alcohol, which has not even a single benefit of consuming it. And that has today, due to this propaganda of businesses and media, it has become a social norm today, and it is widely accepted. And these are social evils, are not those olden days which we called custom social traditions or untouchabilities, not the social evil now today. The greater social evils are these junk food, these alcohol, tobacco. These are the greater social evils which are now widely prevalent among the society, because they actively encourage without knowing the harm that is causing to all of us in all terms. So these social evils should be eradicated, these, and should be prevented, and we need to create a lot of awareness and know your numbers. And manage stress. Stress can cause the arteries to tighten, which may increase the risk of heart disease, especially in women. Exercising, deep breathing, relaxing your muscles, and making time for the things you love, or some things you can do to help manage your stress levels. If things are starting to feel out of hand, don't be afraid to talk to someone or seek professional help. Knowing your numbers is an important part of keeping your heart healthy. Check your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and blood sugar levels on a regular basis is important to help determining and controlling your risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Know your blood pressure. High blood pressure or hypertension is one of the biggest causes of heart attack and stroke. It usually has no symptoms, so it's important to get it regularly checked and, if needed, take necessary measures to lower it, which may include dietary changes, increased physical activity, and medications. Know your cholesterol. High levels of cholesterol in your blood also increases your risk of cardiovascular disease, including heart attacks and strokes. Blood cholesterol can normally be controlled through a healthy diet and, if necessary, by appropriate medications. Know your blood sugar levels. Having diabetes or high blood sugar increases your risk of heart attacks and strokes. So it is important to know your numbers and take any necessary precautions to control your blood sugar if your doctor prescribes it, and take your medication as prescribed. If you have a higher risk of developing heart disease or stroke, you may need to take medication to reduce the risk. These can include statins to lower blood cholesterol levels, low dose aspirin to prevent blood clots, insulin for diabetes, and tablets to reduce blood pressure. So take the medication that your doctor has prescribed and make sure you stick to their regimen. Knowing the warning signs. The sooner assistance is sought, the greater chances of full recovery. The signs we already discussed. And it is very much related to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3.4, that is target 3.4, good health and well-being. by the year 2030, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aims to reduce premature mortality from non-communicable disease by a third, and cardiovascular disease, including heart disease and stroke, is the most common non-communicable disease globally, responsible for nearly 18.6 million deaths, of which more than three-quarters occur in the low and middle income countries. So finally, lower your risk. The treatment for the cardiovascular disease can differ depending on the condition, but can include lifestyle changes, medication, devices, medical procedures, lifestyle changes such as diet, exercise, alcohol, and tobacco use, medication, including ones that treat risk factors like blood pressure or to dissolve blood clots, devices such as pacemakers or implantable cardioverter defibrillators, in short known as ICDs, medical procedures including stents, heart valve surgery, or coronary bypass surgery. And finally, we should always undergo or go with the training of CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Even we had in one of our sessions, we invited one of the most sorted and eminent professional for one of our sessions. They gave very good insights. In fact, we thought of organizing a workshop also, but that cannot be organized online. So offline, we are planning soon. You can also join them. So CPR increases a person's chance of survival when they go into sudden cardiac arrest, when the heart malfunctions and stop beating unexpectedly. Heart attacks can lead to cardiac arrest because they weaken the heart muscles. And this is why it is important to know the warning sign of heart attack and get medical assistance as soon as possible. While sudden cardiac arrest most often occurs due to complications from the heart attacks, it also can be caused by physical stress, as of intense physical activities, inherited disorders, or changes in the heart size or structure. So the full CPR process includes a continuous cycle of 30 chest compressions, followed by 2 rescue breaths by manually pumping the blood throughout the body, which is chest compressions, and administering oxygen with the breaths. You are acting as a heart for the victim. However, if you are uncomfortable or not trained to administer rescue breaths for the individual, then you can still do continuous cycles of just chest compressions. This is known as hands-only CPR. In an emergency situation, hands-only CPR is more effective than doing nothing at all. Note, CPR must be performed only if person is unconscious. This means that he or she is not responsive, and if you yell and forcefully tap on the shoulder, you should not perform CPR if the person is breathing normally. And if she is making noisy infringement gasps, this is called an agonal breath, and you should not count this as regular breathing. You can perform CPR, automated external defibrillator. This is a very small device, for those who don't know how to perform CPR. And this is a very small device and, also affordable. An AED is a small portable defibrillator that is used to restart a person's heart when they are suffering a sudden cardiac arrest. And it starts analyzing the person's heart rhythm and then sends an electric shock to the heart to get the heart to beat normally again. They are easy for layperson to use because all one has to do is to turn it on and follow the instructions prompted by AED. Although certification is highly recommended, any lay person can operate an AED in an emergency situation. And this device, knowledge of device AED is very much essential, especially for us health professional, paramedical professionals and allied health professionals, because it can help restart heart, and it is very simple to use. You just have to connect and it will sense it, and just we need to operate it. So these kind of initiatives, can help in treating cardiovascular diseases. And poor diet is responsible for more deaths worldwide than any other risk factor and is a leading cause of obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Around the world, an estimated of 3.3 billion people lack access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. In the last 15 years, the increased availability of processed foods, rapid urbanization, and changing lifestyles have led to an unhealthy shift in dietary patterns. A healthy diet is a key to prevent both cardiovascular disease and its risk factors such as diabetes and obesity. And individual responsibility can only have its effect when people have the access to healthy lifestyle and are supported to make healthy choices. Supportive environments and communities are fundamental in shaping people's dietary habits and preferences. And according to World Health Organization, nearly 1 in 4 people around the world lack access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. People are strongly influenced by their social environments and economic circumstances, and for many, a healthy diet is simply inaccessible. The wide availability of processed, untrapped, or ultra processed foods, urbanization, and damaging lifestyles have also contributed to an unhealthy shift in dietary patterns, particularly in low and middle income countries. And obesity is a medical condition defined as abnormal or excessive accumulations of body fat that can put a person's health at risk. Global estimates suggest that almost 2.3 billion children and adults are living with overweight and obesity. If current trends continue, 2.7 billion adults could be living with overweight or obesity by 2025. The prevalence of obesity across the world continues to rise, and that is now recognized as one of the most important public health problems facing the world today. So with this, we shall conclude this World Heart Day. So take care of yourselves. What you are eating, be conscious of what you are eating. Most of our lifestyle food habits are always creating a problem for us. We have to be very conscious, and whatever we are consuming, keep meat aside. Do not consume meat or meat products, because that gives lot of energy, where this unaccumulated energy can get into toxins and this excessive fat that we get from these. So that is also, if not properly utilized, again it is going to become a bad cholesterol, and it blocks our veins, arteries, and blood supplies, and you can be more vulnerable to this CVDs. And finally, we will look at our last commemoration, World Maritime Day. For this year, it is newer technologies for greener shopping. So the World Maritime Day theme for 2022, New Technologies for Greener Shipping, reflects the need to support a green transition of the maritime sector into a sustainable future while leaving no one behind. The theme provides an opportunity to focus on the importance of sustainable maritime sector and need to build back better and greener in a post-pandemic world. So what are the basic, spotlighting green technologies? IMO regulations drive innovation and, propeller boss cap fins and tables for data collection, artificial intelligence for train optimization, for ship trim optimization, solar power for cargo ships, and improving go fouling, prevention and management, and testing novel technologies for biofueling and solar powered fishing boats are various initiatives for spotlighting green technologies and for consumption. Now let's watch a short video. Kindly wait for feedback form. We are about to conclude after this short videos.
Among the world's most pressing ocean and environmental challenges are climate change, marine litter, and preserving biodiversity. And this year's World Maritime theme has been chosen to highlight initiatives intending to address them. Our theme for 2022 is New Technologies for Greener Shipping. It provides an opportunity to promote inclusive innovation, research and development, and technology cooperation, and to showcase solutions for decarbonization and more environmentally friendly shipping. These ambitions will benefit everyone. No one will be left behind. It is not only a theme, it marks a pathway to help implement the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which set out 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, especially SDG 13 on climate change, SDG 14 on sustainable use of the ocean, seas, and marine resources, and SDG 9 on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. But above all, it is about partnerships and inclusive technological solutions reflecting SDG 17, which highlight the importance of partnerships and implementation to achieve all the goals. New technologies for greener shipping opens up a larger conversation about the shipping's direction and how technologies can be harnessed for a more sustainable future. It also provides an incentive to further examine how digitalization and automation can support shipping. But technological solutions for cleaner, safer, more sustainable shipping must also benefit people. They must consider their impact on seafarers and other marine personnel, including the need for training. So I'm pleased that I am announcing this year's theme to coincide with the first celebration of the International Day for Women in Maritime on 18th May, and to mark this joint landmark. IMO will generate opportunities for discussion on women in decision-making and on skill development in the maritime industry. This will support the just and equitable transition to decarbonization of international shipping and the key role for women in leading change, particularly in the production and uptake of low-carbon marine fuels and shipboard technologies. Throughout this year, IMO will also highlight green shipping solutions across the industry and to provide a platform for sharing knowledge and best practices. IMO will also foster a dialogue on innovation and technology needs for greener shipping, sharing knowledge at the global level. To this end, IMO will provide updates on initiatives being trialed and piloted by the IMO established Maritime Technology Cooperation Centers, or MTCCs, and the Green Voyage 2050 Decarbonization Project and the Blue Solutions Project. These will demonstrate new maritime decarbonization technologies and build on our next-gen decarbonization initiative, which links efforts of existing IMO project, MTCC, and various R&D centers to enhance knowledge sharing at the global level. We will also organize another global forum to address technology and its deployment in the maritime sector, with a specific emphasis on needs of developing countries, especially least developed countries and small island developing states. In addition, we will be hosting the second IMO Symposium on alternative low-carbon and zero-carbon fuels, which will focus both on opportunities in renewable fuel production for the shipping industry in developing countries, and on supporting technology cooperation initiatives to support their transition toward decarbonization. Another global project will showcase solutions for biofouling management to protect biodiversity and help reduce emissions, while a further initiative will tackle marine plastic litter. All of these projects highlight the need for all stakeholders across the maritime sector to work together and find solutions. And I know that we can all do this. During the year, we will invite all of you to discuss and showcase and highlight inclusive solutions for the future of shipping. And we will provide information on how to share your technology stories in due course. I'm excited about the possibility that this year's theme, New Technologies for Greener Shipping, brings to a global conversation on the future of our planet, and I look forward to hearing from you as well. Let us continue and enhance our conversation for a greener, more equitable, and a more sustainable maritime future.
More than 500 million people worldwide are living with cardiovascular disease. Increasingly sedentary lifestyles, unhealthy diets, and a rise in tobacco use, all key risk factors for cardiovascular disease, mean this number will continue to grow unless we can implement effective interventions that support CVD prevention and improve care. Digital health technologies, including wearable devices and monitoring systems, help us address the challenges that health systems are facing today. They can empower patients and health providers, promote universal health service coverage, improve long-term patient outcomes, and reduce healthcare costs. However, a range of fundamental barriers can obstruct the successful implementation of digital healthcare interventions. Factors such as digital illiteracy, limited access to the internet, and the affordability of technologies create a digital divide, which exacerbates already existing inequalities in access to digital health technologies and their potential benefits. In our new roadmap for digital health in cardiology, we identify these barriers and provide evidence-informed solutions to overcome them, including the establishment of national e-health guidelines, the engagement of key stakeholders, education of the health workforce and patients, and the improvement of regulatory standards. The roadmap acts as a key reference document for policymakers, healthcare professionals, and patient advocates who are working to implement digital health strategies to drive meaningful change and reduce the burden of CVD in their communities. The World Heart Federation is supporting the global implementation of this roadmap through our national roundtables, CVD scorecards, the Emerging Leaders Program, and World Heart Day.
So thank you everyone for joining us on this wonderful day. And apart from this, so we have National Biscuit Day. Biscuit Day, the name itself says, uh, dry and crunchy, dipped or dunked biscuit is enjoyed and celebrated in many ways. And today is also National Coffee Day. And coffee is an integral part of American culture, like McDonald's, rock and roll, blue jeans, etc. And today is also National Silent Movie Day. Be ready to watch as silent movies as possible on this special day. And today is also National Police Remembrance Day in US. Be ready to celebrate this day right here with us by honoring all police officers. So with that, we conclude today's commemoration, and thank you everyone for joining us. And kindly fill the feedback form. It is mandatory for receiving certificates. Feedback form has been raised in the form of poll. Quickly fill up the feedback form. And you are free to share your feedback. You can unmute yourself and you can share your feedback if you have any queries, clarifications. After filling up the feedback form, you can share it. And once again, I would like to inform you that all the certificates have been updated. Till now, there are no pending certificates. So you can download all certificates till yesterday. You can visit our website and from there you can download all the certificates. If you are attending daily, you can download all the daily certificates of entire September month or previous months also, all at once or as per your convenience. And daily register, it is the same form every day. You just need to select the date and time. Time is also same. You need to select every day that day, that is today's date. I mean, on that day which you are attending, use the same form, participate, provide feedback, and you can download your certificate. And if you also would like to present based on your experience or subject expert, feel free. This Sunday also we have conference based on these themes, including World Heart Day and all these 1 week, what all we are commemorating. The same topics we'll be having on Sunday also, because some who are not able to join weekdays, they can also gain the benefit. Most of the content will be different only, but on these similar topics. We'll also look into medical tourism, health tourism, wellness tourism, and also a few more details, or at least a session on this heart cardiovascular disease. Maybe I will focus on in detail the risk factors so that we can gain in more detail. Various insights. So if you have filled the feedback form, you may leave the webinar, or if you'd like to share, you can unmute yourself and share, or even if you can share your feedback or comments, observations in chat box also. Thank you all once again for joining us.
I thank Dr. Ravindran sir for providing this wonderful platform. It's been today really very informative and very knowledgeable, and also to be the part of the Holistic Health Foundation India and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations and international conference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ma. Basically, every day we will be having international webinar. International conferences are on weekdays, every Sunday. So that is there. Otherwise, thank you for your valuable feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care. Good night. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form. We'll be ending this session in next 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Quickly fill up the feedback form. Once you have filled, you can leave the platform. Take care. Good night.